At the start of Football Manager 2024, you will find Eliesse Ben Seghir at Monaco. He's 18 years old, hasn't yet represented France at any of the youth levels, but he's valued at £14 to £42 million by Monaco. He has a contract that is worth £7.25 thousand per week, and that runs to the end of the 2025 season. Looking at the player in his positional sense, he can play anywhere through the middle of the park, playing either as an orthodox midfielder or as an attacking midfielder. He can also fill in out on the wings as a left-sided or right-sided midfielder. Looking at the player himself in terms of his attributes, his game will be set up around his pace and acceleration. Even though they start off at just 12 and 13 for both of those, I feel there is a lot more development to come from the player. Looking at the mentals, he has good anticipation, composure, decisions, flair off the ball, teamwork, vision and work rate. And then in the technicals, he has 14 for dribbling, 14 for first touch, 13 for passing and 14 for technique. He starts the game with 2 player traits, which are moves into the channels, and he likes to try tricks. He's a player that I think will be a tricky one, and as he grows into the team and into the save, he certainly will develop quite quickly. So let's jump 5 years into the future and see what happens with Ben Seghir when we get to 2028. So we have now jumped forward, it is 2028, and we find Eliesse Ben Seghir is still at Monaco. He is now 23 years old, has represented France 16 times at under-21s level, and has scored 10 goals. Valued at £29 to £86 million, he has a contract worth £49,500, and that runs to the end of the 2031 season. Looking at the player himself, there's not as big a step forward as I thought there might be, but looking through the physicals, he has good agility, natural fitness, pace, stamina and strength. In the mentals, the vision is now 16, flair of 15, determination, decisions, composure, all scoring 15. And then in the technicals, the dribbling and the first touch are both up to 16, passing is 14 and technique is 15. The player traits are now moves into channels and tries tricks. If we look at his playing time to see how we have got to this point, so starting off in the 23-24 season, he played 27 times. The next season he would play 31 times. Then in 25-26 he would play 26 times, scoring a high of 10 goals. He had 6 assists that season too. Then he would play 34 times, scoring 8, and 31 times, scoring 5. In those 2 seasons there, he would score above a 7 average rating, with the highest one being a 7.15. So there is clear signs of progression, even if it's not immediately jumping off of the page. But what will the future hold for Ben Seghir? Let's see where he is in 2033. So we have jumped forwards, it's 2033, and we can see that Eliesse Ben Seghir has swapped Monaco for Al Nassr. He's 28 years old, has still only represented France 16 times at under-21s level, but he's now valued at £41 to £122 million, and he has a contract that is worth £750,000 per week, and that runs to the end of the 2036 season. Now looking at him, it seems as if he has hit the peak of where he will develop to. There isn't too much more development from the last time that we saw the player. There might be 1 or 2 points that have gone up or down in the physicals. In the mentals, it's about his composure, flair and vision, all scoring 16. He also scores highly for decisions, determination, work rate. Also, in the technicals, he has 16 dribbling, 16 first touch, 15 for passing and 15 for technique. So let's have a look then. How did he end up at Al Nassr? So he would stick with Monaco all the way up until the 30-31 season, and once he started to kind of plateau off, he only played 24 times in the 30-31 season. He scored 5, had 5 assists and actually got a 7.22 average rating. But when his contract came to an end, in swooped Al Nassr to take him away, and in the 31-32 season he would play 34 games, only scored twice but would have 12 assists and would score 7.88 average rating. Then the following season he would play 27 times, score 4 goals, have 8 assists, 5 Player of the Match awards, and would get a 7.9 average rating across the season. So it seems like Ben Seghir has had a good move for himself. But what will happen with the rest of his career? Let's jump 5 years further forward and see what happens once we get to 2038. So we have taken the final jump forwards. It is now 2038 and we can see Eliesse Ben Seghir is back in French football, playing for Paris Saint-Germain. He's 33 years old, has now gained 5 France international caps. He has a contract worth £300,000 a week that is due to expire at the end of 2038. Unfortunately for the player, he has gone to PSG and picked himself up quite a big injury. He has suffered some sprained knee ligaments. Looking at the player though, he has now started to lose a bit in the physicals. His strength has dropped off in terms of the acceleration and the pace. They're probably not what they were. In the mentals though, he still carries good composure, flair, vision, work rate off the ball, and in the technicals, good first touch, passing and technique. The player traits have started to stack up with moving to channels, tries to kill the balls often, places shots, plays 1-2s, tries tricks, likes the ball played into feet and cuts in from the left wing. So let's see then, how did he end up at PSG? When did he move from Al Nassr? So once again, he would actually move on a free transfer after he would tear it up in Saudi Arabia, scoring a worst seasonal average rating of a 7.73 and a maximum of 7.90. He would go to Paris Saint-Germain in 2036-37 on a free transfer, play 27 games in the first season and 24 games in the second season. That would give him career stats of 472 appearances, 79 goals, 86 assists, 24 player of the match awards and a staggering 7.31 average rating for his career. If we look at some of the milestones to see what he has achieved, maybe not as much as you would think. Monaco playing second fiddle to PSG means that it's basically seasonal best 11s, Ligue and Uber Eats team of the week. He would get named in the Olympic Games dream team for France's under 23s. And then once he would move to Al Nassr, he would be the supporters player of the year pretty much every single season. So he would get that award in 2033-34, 35-36, and then he would go back to Paris Saint-Germain, where he would only be in the seasonal best 11s. In terms of trophies that he would win, so with Monaco, he was the Championnat National under-19 runner-up, got his first under-21 international cap at the age of 18, European under-21 championship runners-up, and then he would be a Coupe de France winner with Monaco, Trophée des Champions runner-up, an Olympic Games winner with France under-23s, get his first international cap against Croatia at the age of 30, and then since being back in Paris, a Coupe de France runner-up, Ligue 1 Uber Eats champion, a Trophée des Champions winner, and a Ligue 1 Uber Eats champion. So, bit of a strange career path with him leaving Monaco to go out to Saudi Arabia just to come back to French football. But I do think if you can get him into your team, and you can certainly get him playing football regularly and find a position for him, he can be an absolute electric player. And I think if you sign him and you can mould him into your team, he will be absolutely fantastic. Let me know, are you going to sign Ben Seghir in your game? And do you think you can develop him better than this career path? Let me know in the comments section down below.